गिरवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन यमुनातीर वनचारी यमुनातीर वनचारी जय रागमाधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Yeah, very nice, Mataji. So let us read Mangalacharan. Subal Prabhuji, are you able to recite Mangalacharan or? Okay. I see. Is it Anant Prabhu who has joined?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. All goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. All goes to Srila Prabhu. Prabhu, are you able to recite Mangalacharan?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Ajnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmullitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutaka Padakamalanvitam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lita Sri Vaishna Vishakha Vitam Sacha. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
Very nice, Prabhu. Very good to you.
Hare Krishna.
Very good. So, devotees, as we all know, yesterday we began this most auspicious spiritual journey studying Bhagavad Gita. The proper phrase should be studying. Even though we write in our message, let's read. That's okay, because most people, they're more familiar with the term reading than studying. Study means they think this is a nice episode. One of the devotees asked Srila Prabhupada, they were discussing, and Srila Prabhupada asked them, do you all read Bhagavad Gita? He asked, do you all study Bhagavad Gita? Then almost all the devotees said that, yes, we read Bhagavad Gita. We read. Every one of them, they said that we read. Srila Prabhupada did not accept it. He said that reading is not, you read newspapers in those times, newspapers, some magazines and so on. But studying meaning, you take the meaning into your heart and act upon it. That is studying. Much deeper. Reading and studying is not, even though it all comes under the broad category of understanding, but studying is much deeper because you understand the exact meaning, what is the subject matter, and then you act upon it. So our purpose, goal of reading or studying Bhagavad Gita is to make sure this becomes a transforming tool for us, not just reading, we can read, it's all in English, but we have to contemplate. Contemplation is very, very important, devotees, in spiritual path. That means contemplation is not all the time asking questions and inquisitiveness. Initially, there will be why it happened. The beauty again about our itihas like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam is all that it's already in the format of question and answer. In Bhagavad Gita, I think Arjuna is asking about almost 54 questions. And for each question, our dear Lord Sri Krishna is taking very nice time, almost like 7 verses per question on an average. He's taking time so that it's not only for Arjuna, for the entire mankind. So let us do that. Not over-analyzing, but completely making our understanding perfect. Because there's so many complex things will be discussed. Next chapter, will deal about who we are. It might be slightly confusing. Who am I? Am I this body or am I soul? There are so many questions might come. But slowly, you'll see that Krishna is taking us to a very nice elevation. And at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, all our consciousness should have become very, very clear. We should be able to think properly and we should be able to act properly also. So, the more and more we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, it will definitely make us advance in the spiritual path. So, devotees, yesterday we talked about, by the way, devotees, today, it's not my turn to lead, but our very dear devotee, Sri Krishna Prabhu, is traveling. So, I was just informed, if I can just lead tonight. So, each day there will be a different devotee leading the class so that we get different flavor, different perception. But all this flavor and perception should be based only on Srila Prabhupada's purport and translation. Only given by Srila Prabhupada. We cannot create our own. We can give some references of our own. There are thousands and thousands of references. But everything should be based on Srila Prabhupada. Because why Srila Prabhupada? Because he has given the most authentic translation and purport for Bhagavad Gita. If we read this, we really don't have to do anything else. Okay? So yesterday we saw this Mahabharata war. Mataji, you want to? Okay. So this war has become inevitable. Why it has become inevitable, devotees? As we briefly discussed yesterday, there has been some kind of an enmity, deep-rooted, not just momentum. The Kauravas always had so much jealous and envy about the Pandavas. Whatever they did. In today's life also we see like that, devotees. We get a little bit jealous of somebody. We get envious. We don't feel good. Somebody is doing very good. Then we think, see, getting inspired is one thing. That is a good thing. You get inspired by looking at somebody, I want to be like that. That's a good positive thing. But thinking always negative about that person and thinking that you are better than that person, we are all equal. Krishna has created with different talents for each one of us. He has created the ant and he has created the elephant also. And Krishna knows each one has got a particular talent to do that. Anyhow, here the thing is that the Kauravas are so envious of the Pandavas, and because of the blindness of Dhritarashtra, spiritual blindness, the war has become inevitable. And it has not been easy. Krishna, the Supreme Lord himself, goes as a peacemaker 3 times, Shanti Duta, to take peace. We'll go to the kingdom of Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra. We'll explain them, why are you fighting? For what? You're all brothers. And the final message of Krishna was that they are Kshatriyas. And the Kshatriya, the guideline for Kshatriya is that they have to own their own land. They have to be king or rule or whatever it is. They cannot be in a rented place. They cannot share. That is one of the qualities of Kshatriya, whether it is small or big. But Duryodhana, outright, he will reject that. He'll say, I will not even give the tip of my hand. Even that much of land, I will not give it to anyone. So, we have to understand why this is happening. Dharma kshetre, kurukshetre. Only this becomes a pilgrimage because it is for a fight, an action to uphold dharma. As we know, devotees, Krishna would in chapter 4 say, Yada yadayi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttaram adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam. What is he saying? Whenever there is a decline in dharma, okay, and whenever there is an increase in adharma, Krishna says, I would appear there. And then he would also say, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. Whenever the sadhus, the devotees are in danger, he says, I will appear to protect them. Like he protected our Prahlad Maharaj and so many other devotees. Every time he would appear and protect them. He protected Draupadi also before this war all began. He protected the Draupadi's honor. So we have to understand that how do we realize Krishna? Many people will ask, oh, Krishna was there during the Dwapara Yuga, people were able to see him, and now we cannot see. How can I believe in God? Even that time, even when Krishna was there in a very physical form, he appeared, same Krishna to Duryodhana, to all the Kaurava brothers, to Dhritarashtra, they did not accept him. So it doesn't matter. So even if today Krishna comes, almost like 50%, 60%, 70% will not accept it. That's the reality. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Only devotees can understand Krishna. That is why Bhagavad Gita is very, very important, devotees. That we have to read it in a very devotional mood, not in a analytical mood, or not in a mood to find faults or find the odd things from this literature or instruction. There are some people, they read this, they would say, how is it possible? Krishna is saying Krishna created the Varnashrama. That's not good. He's dividing the society. Why should there be Brahmanas? Why should there be Kshatriyas? Why is it differentiating, discriminating the community? They will. Now, right now, they are saying this. There are so many political leaders, they quote one or two verses from here and there. And they would say, your Lord has said this. Krishna, the Lord you worship, is dividing the society. This is what a political leader is saying. What is the answer? Only is ignorance, nothing else. So that is why this has to be understood in a very, very proper way. What is the proper way to understand Bhagavad Gita? Again, Krishna has only answered that. Evam parampara praptam. Meaning, this has to be understood by some in disciplic succession. Like our disciplic succession is what? From Krishna to Brahma to Madhvacharya to our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Srila Prabhupada, and from Srila Prabhupada to so many Guru Maharaj, and from so many Guru Maharaj to so many senior devotees, and now all the devotees in ISKCON Tampa. We are gaining knowledge about Bhagavad Gita. So this is in disciplic succession. Not by just picking up Bhagavad Gita online. Now there are, anything you do, Google search, it will come up with all the purport and translation. That's not the point. Ramanujacharya, another very, very senior Acharya, which we all respect and regard, one of the authorities in the Vaishnava, in this parampara. He was before Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya. He begged his guru to give him Diksha 16 times. But his guru refused it for some reason. But the 17th time, the guru said that, okay, let me give. And what was the Diksha mantra, devotees? Om Namo Narayanaya. That's it, simple. Everybody knows this mantra. So what is so special? Why does have to Ramanujacharya cry for this Diksha just to get Om Namo Narayanaya? No. The guru giving it to the disciple has got all the power. We just chanting something, reading something is okay. But when it is given by the guru, it is completely blessed. It empowers us completely. So right now we are blessed by Srila Prabhupada. So when we read this, we get through Srila Prabhupada, we get the right mood and the mindset to understand what Krishna is saying. Otherwise, devotees, believe me, there are millions of people read Bhagavad Gita every day, but still they don't accept Krishna. They think that Krishna is just a representative, is just a speaker, is a messenger. Bhagavan, there is someone called Bhagavan. They will not define who is Bhagavan. Krishna is saying, I'm the Bhagavan. I am everything. Okay. But they would say, no, we don't know. It's all says, nowhere it is said Krishna is Bhagavan. That is why you have to read Bhagavatam also. You have to put everything very nicely together. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. The same Vedavyas is explaining, confirming that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Okay. Then also Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha. Ishvara Parama Krishna, that itself defines everything. There may be so many Ishvaras, but Param, the ultimate, the supreme, is Krishna. So with that, devotees, you will read verse number 2 today. Let five of us can read, maybe the first 2 or 3 verses, maybe we can read 5 devotees can read. And then slowly we'll make it 3 devotees per day. Okay. So devotees, we are in 1, 2, not 1, 3. 1, 2. Okay. So who can read this devotees?
Hare Krishna.
Hare,
Yeah, Mataji, please go ahead.
no, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. All glory to Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Sanjay Uvacha Drashta tu Pandavanikam Vyamu Vyudha Duryodhanastada Acharya Mopasam Samgampyam Raja Vachanam Bravid. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Haribol, nice Mataji. Devotees, who can read?
Yes, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna
Haribol.
Srila Prabhupada. Sanjaya Uvacha Brishta tu Pandavanekam Vyudham Duryodhanastata Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit.
Very nice Mataji. Subal Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all Krishna Srila Prabhupada. Sanjay Uvacha Drishtva tu Pandavanikam Yudam Duryodhanastata Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Devotees, as we all know, the seva that is done by our Subal Prabhuji is unparalleled. Very, he's so blessed by Krishna, Srila Prabhupada. He is able to render so many seva for the temple in so many ways. But Prabhuji has not been feeling well past maybe a few days, 2-3 days. But let us pray that we need Subal Prabhu in full form. So please include him in your prayers so that Prabhuji is completely back fully and, recover full. Are you feeling much better, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. With your blessings. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, Anand Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Voice is now.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Can I try Prabhuji?
So this is our Santoshi Mataji.
Yes Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sanjay Vacha Društva tu Pandavanīkam Vyūdam Duryodhanastada Acharya Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravīt.
Very nice, Mataji. Good. So devotees, maybe one more can read. Either Sunita Mataji, Shital Mataji. You want to try?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees. Sanjaya Uvacha Društva tu Pandavanīkam Vyūdam Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravīt. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Very nice, Mataji. Very good. Okay, now devotees, let us jump into synonyms and translation. Maybe Bharsati Mataji, you want to
Yes,
try?
Prabhuji, I can read. Synonyms and translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Sanjaya Ubacha. Sanjaya said, Drishtva, after seeing, tu, but, Pandava Anikam, the soldiers of the Pandavas, Bhayudham, arranged in a military phalanx, Duryodhanaha, King Duryodhan, Tada, at that time, Acharyam, the teacher, Upasangamya, approaching, Raja, the king, Vachanam, words, Abravit, spoke. Translation. Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, and spoke the following words.
Okay, very nice, Mataji. So, dear devotees, this also kind of tells us what is the spiritual advancement. In this entire 700 verses of the most supreme dialogue, there is only one time Dhritarashtra has spoken. That's the first verse. What is my son and Kuru's sons are doing? That's it. He's not interested in anything. He's not interested in Arjuna. He's not interested in Krishna. What is Krishna? No, he's not interested. And devotees, even the people who are in the investigators and so on, they always say that the criminals, they get a feeling whether they are going to be caught or they act in such a way because there is something called consciousness. Okay, so it is there. Most even criminals know that they'll be caught, they're not doing something right, but in spite of that, they do it. So here also we see that Dhritarashtra knows that what is he doing is not correct. But still, the attachment is so strong. Many times it happens with us also, devotees. We think, hey, we should not have been, maybe with this devotee, I could have interacted in a much better way. We know it, but still, at that particular moment, which is called reactive, not responsive. Spiritual learning, advancement is responsive, meaning you take time, you analyze. Every time you act upon anything, devotee, small to a very big decision in your life, bring Bhagavad Gita into that decision. Bring Krishna into that decision. Am I acting according to Krishna's instruction? If I say something, will it be pleasing to Krishna? That way we have to act. Just not, reactive or something. He said, she said, we become a little bit agitated. Right? So we have to, but that is what is happening here right now. Duryodhana is always, he only reacts. He doesn't think. He's intelligent. In fact, in Mahabharata, it is stated that is even more tactical than Bhima. Bhima is very strong. If Bhima hits with one of his palm, he can even kill 1,000 elephants. He was so powerful. But even Krishna understood Duryodhana was more tactical. This is also true in today's life, devotees. We see that there are some bad people, they are very intelligent, very tactful. You cannot compete with them. They'll come up with something. You look at today's government or political situation. They'll be doing something wrong, but they'll all package it in such a way, that it's difficult to even challenge them. But Duryodhana knows, Dhritarashtra also knows. Actually, Dhritarashtra initially invites Vedavyas. He says, you know what? Dhritarashtra always had this excuse. He always had this lamentation. He would always begin with saying, hey, you know what? I was born a blind. I don't know what wrong did I do. I did not do anything wrong, but I was born blind. So he would tell Vedavyas, now what am I going to do? There is a war is happening. I don't know anything. I cannot see anything. Why don't you come help me? You give me, some kind of a power so I can view everything. But Vedavyas refuses that. The main reason Vedavyas did not accept that request was that Vedavyas knew that when Krishna is on one side, the other side will be eliminated. And then he knew that Dhritarashtra will not be able to accept that. He will not be able to digest it. So he didn't want to be part of that. As we all know, Vedavyas is also part of this Mahabharata. Devotees, can anyone say what is the relationship between Vedavyas and Dhritarashtra?
Vedvyas is the father of Dhritarashtra, right, Prabhuji?
What is that?
Father.
Yeah. That's correct. Actually, he is the grandfather for all the Kauravas and Pandavas. So he is the father of Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and also Vidura. So he is an important character in Mahabharata. He is also the author, he is also the character. So, but what Vedavyas does, see, one thing we have to understand, all said and done, in his role in Mahabharata, Vedavyas is an extension of Krishna only. Okay. But in that particular role, he has to be very, very neutral at all levels. As we see, even the judge, he knows that the criminal has done something wrong, but yet he would try to be very, very neutral. You will see how best the situation can be resolved. So similarly, here also we see that Krishna, Vedavyas, Vidura, all the other high, Yudhishthira, they always trying to be very, very compassionate and forgive. They want to forgive all those things. That is what matured people, that is what divine people, that is what spiritual people do. They don't fight. Fighting, anybody time can do it. They may be even ridicule. Hey, you cannot fight. You're scared of me. But they know, they're not worried about comments. But their objective is to see that everything works very nicely in the Krishna consciousness. Yet, there is a limit. That is why Mahabharata is happening. What is the limit? As I mentioned, Krishna has already gone there as 3 times, peacemaker. First of all, they should have handed over the kingdom by themselves. It did not happen. Krishna went there. A lot of messengers went there. It did not happen. Now it is inevitable. So they tried. There is a saying, devotees, I don't know if we all have heard this, Sama, Dhana, Veda, Dandana. Have you heard that, devotees, this phrase? Okay, Sama means any kind of a conflict, fight, or Shastra says you deal it with 4 ways. First is Sama. Sama means you treat both parties equally. Sama means equal. Dana. Dana means you try to compensate. Hey, okay, so you're feeling you want all the kingdom, take all the kingdom, but give something to the Pandava. This was the best, message from Krishna. Okay, you want to cheat and take it, keep it, fine. But let them also live and let live. Let them also live. Okay, so that is dana. Veda. Then you try to make some nice understanding, discussion, debate with them. Mostly it doesn't work because they have not accepted sama, they have not accepted dana. There is a good chance they have not accepted Veda also. In fact, Krishna, third time, he gives Bhagavad Gita to Duryodhana. But Duryodhana completely rejects it. As we know, that is when Krishna shows his Virat Rupa. Virat Rupa is almost like Vishwarupa. Very big, infinite expansion. Yet, Duryodhana will not accept it. You would say it's something like a Mayavi. You say that he is like a magician. He'll close his eyes. But everybody, Bhishma, Dronacharya, they all knew that this is the supreme Bhagavan. He's coming, but Duryodhana is not able to accept it. So Sama did not work, Dana did not work, Veda did not work, Dandana. Dandana means punishment. So finally, if you look at it, devotees, that is what our Bharat, our country, India, has been following. They don't get into fight at all. Many people will ridicule, oh, India is so covered, they cannot fight. And no, fighting it will come last. That doesn't mean they are weak. Lord Ramachandra, he was very, very compassionate. So, anyhow, coming back to here, when everything gets rejected, then the war is inevitable. Now, but Dhritarashtra knows that they are going to lose. And even now, Duryodhana, as being narrated here by Sanjaya, let us read the purport so that we can discuss a little more. So Sanjaya is narrating that Duryodhana is taking a review of both sides of the military and is going to speak the following words. Why not we read the purport, devotee?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Shall I try, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, by Charana Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matters of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjaya could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. Sanjaya wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king, and thus assured him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise and under the influence of the holy place. Sanjaya therefore informed the king that his son Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief Dronacharya to inform him of the real action. real position, Prabhuji. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician. But Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Very nice, Prabhu. So, devotees, as we can see here, Duryodhana's his inner mind, his inner heart, it's saying that it's not going to be in his favor. Because he knows that the Pandavas are very, very superior. They are more powerful. He knows that. Whatever has happened so far, he has done it by deceit, by cheating, by overpowering them, by exploiting the good nature of the Pandavas. That is one thing that happens in this world, devotees. When somebody is good, they will always, people will always, there are thousands and thousands of people who want to exploit them. They think they are vulnerable. So here, in his inner heart, Duryodhana knows that it's not really going to be very favorable. In the next few verses, it is said that when everybody will, blow their conch shell, it will be very nicely explained. And then when Krishna will blow his conch shell, it is written in Mahabharata that several of the thousands of the Kaurava soldiers will die just by hearing the conch shell. It is so powerful. So, what is happening here is that here he is the king, but these are all certain technical details. Even the king has to go to the commander-in-chief. For example, even in today's world, let us say USA, the ultimate commander-in-chief is the president, but still when there is some kind of a war or a conflict, he will call the army chief commander. We'll call him, they will all discuss, because the king itself, of course, in those days they used to fight, but nowadays not the leaders don't fight anymore. They ask everybody else to fight. So there is a difference. The king comes last. Okay, first the commander has to form the entire military positions. So he's going to ask Duryodhana. The Duryodhana is going to ask Dronacharya. Devotees, let's take a moment, a pause here. Do we know who is Dronacharya? What is his background? And it is very much related to this Mahabharata.
Guru of Kauravas and Pandavas, Prabhuji.
Yeah, he's a guru, but beyond that,
Prabhuji, he was also the friend of Draupadi's father, Drupada, and I don't remember something. There was a misunderstanding in the friendship, and that's how something happened, and that's how he likes to show how strong he is, Drupada. And something happened there. I don't know much on that story, but he is also like a friend of Draupadi's father, Prabhuji.
yeah, that is mostly correct what you said. Dronacharya is belongs to a poor family. Dronacharya is a Brahmana, actually. He is one of the rare Brahmanas who is also Kshatriya. Because he was so good with warfare. He was the guru for, as Ruby Mataji mentioned, he was a guru for both Pandavas and Kauravas. But his background is that he comes from a poor family, but he was very friendly with the prince of Panchala. His name is Drupada. Drupada is the father of Draupadi and Drishtadyumna. We'll discuss about that in a couple moments later. But what is happening is that they are very, very good friends initially. Then, at that moment, Drupada would say that, you know what, if I become the king of Panchala, I will give half of my kingdom to you. Which was said very nice, And when he actually becomes the king, he forgets everything. And when Dronacharya meets with him, and he says, hey, you know what, can you help me in some way? Because Dronacharya is still poor. Then Drupada will outright reject. He'll say, what? I cannot give you anything. Maybe I said something in my earlier days. So these are all the qualities. Mahabharata, Ramayana, it's a story of stories, devotees. Thousands and thousands of episodes. How people react, how people change. Why? It is all because of the material attachment and not having enough Krishna consciousness. It's a deadly combination. First of all, you are very materially attached, and then you do not bring Krishna into your life. That's it. That is what is Naraka. Meaning, Srila Prabhupada says that is the spiritual suicide. That means birth after birth, we don't know. We may go to the, downfall, to the lower platform or higher platform, but there is no rescue for us. We will be caught in this material manifestation. So, anyhow, Drupada will do that. He will reject. Then, Dronacharya with this lot of, because he's a Brahmana, he will do a lot of mantras and he will have a fight with Drupada. He will get 50% of Panchala kingdom. Now both are equal. Because at one time, Drupada would say, hey, we can only talk when two people are on the same level. You are such a poor guy. How can we talk about charity? But now they have become equal. Dronacharya now is the owner of 50% of Panchala and Drupada is 50%. Now Drupada has become very angry. He does a lot of yajna and tapa and so on. Then he gets a boon in the form of his son called Drishtadyumna. The purpose of Drishtadyumna is to kill Dronacharya. That was his main purpose of appearing. So he is there. Like Dronacharya is the commander for the Kauravas, Drishtadyumna will come to the next verse later on. He is the commander for not Arjuna. Drishtadyumna is the commander for Pandavas. And his role, he will kill Dronacharya. That is what will happen. So we understand that there is a lot of background for each character. How many characters? Thousands and thousands of characters. We know the main, the Pandavas, the Kauravas. Of course, we even don't know all the 9,900 brothers, Kaurava brothers. We don't know. But it's such a large epic. It's not possible to know all the names. But some of the major names is that, Dronacharya is very key. His son Ashwatthama is also very key, which will come later on. So we see that here at this particular verse, Duryodhana is very, very concerned about the formation, just looking at Krishna at one side and all the Pandavas, even though number-wise, the military-wise, the Kauravas were much, much stronger. They were almost like more than double than the force of Pandava. But yet, that is the power of course, the Supreme Lord is there. So that is one other thing we have to learn, devotees. Even if the majority, they seem to be successful, but if they are not in Krishna consciousness, we should not be joining them. We should be always with Krishna consciousness. Even if you are not materially successful, even if you don't have money, even if you are not respected in the society materially, does not matter. But we should always be in the side of dharma. What is dharma? Krishnam dharmam sanatanam. Krishna is, Mahabharata says, Krishna is dharma. So if you follow Krishna's instruction, automatically you will come under the guidance of dharma. You don't have to do any further research. That is where Karna faulted. Karna personally did not do anything wrong, but he was on the wrong side. He was following the wrong leader. What was his only reasoning? Duryodhana gave me everything. Pandavas did not give me anything. The other society did not give me anything. Nobody. Parshuram cursed me. The Dronacharya rejected me. Only Duryodhana accepted me. Yeah, this seems like a very emotional, good logic. But where is dharma? When he knows that Duryodhana is not a good guy, he is not on the side of ethical, legal thing, why would you see that? Only that is selfish motive only, ultimately. Even though it seems selfless, it is only because somebody helped you, but that man is very bad. Sometimes it happens, devotees. Somebody would say, my boss is so bad, I don't like him. But that boss might be helping you. He might giving you promotion also. But we have to be careful, that we should try to be always how I can be on the side of dharma. Devotees, any thoughts? We got 10 more minutes. We can read the next verse real quick. It's not a very, let's see. You can read one more verse. Or if anyone has got special comments on Mahabharata or Bhagavad Gita, we can share. We can discuss for 10 minutes. Anupama Mataji, say something. Why this is all happening? Why people have to fight?
हरे कृष्ण, दंडवत प्रणाम। मुझे तो पता नहीं कि फाइट क्यों करते हैं, पर मैं ऐसे ही सोचती हूँ कि like every time, why is the bad side is why is the stronger one? That's why I'm just thinking. But I know that is like the Sri Krishna's Leela, but I don't know, like why they are so strong. Because if you see Devta and Danav, the Danav was so strong. Asatya and Asatya is strong. Like every time, like the bad part is the much more stronger than the good part. But it's just like that, maybe. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Actually, the Lord is neutral to everybody. He gives the same whatever, because everybody is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. He doesn't differentiate. But the problem is that we misuse that. That's the main problem. So then he has to intervene. Otherwise, Krishna doesn't really want to intervene at all. Right? If our hand, one of the hand becomes detrimental to our body, the doctor would say, hey, we have to do some treatment, we have to do some surgery to that particular hand. But other than that, would you really want to hurt your hand? You will never want to hurt your hand at all, or any part of the body, because it's all part and parcel of you. But at certain times, when it gets contaminated, then you have to do some kind of a surgery. That is what has happened. The misuse of the wonderful free will, the realization, the consciousness given by Krishna, we misuse that all the time. That is why we are caught in this material manifestation. Once if you understand that Krishna is my ultimate, realization, is my ultimate goal in my life, immediately everything will change. Our entire attitude, our activity, our actions, everything will change immediately. That is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, and all the Itihas also. It is said that devotees, whatever is mentioned in Ramayana and Mahabharata, there cannot be any single experience in this material world beyond those two Itihas. Everything has been explained in that. Good, bad, not very good, not very bad. Everything is explained, both in Ramayana and Mahabharata. So, any more comment, devotees?
One more question. So just thinking. So I heard like the in the front part is the dharma come up, and the back side is adharma born up. This is the true or no? Just only stories.
Can you say that again? I did not understand
Yeah,
the question.
so like they say to everyone, like, the backside, the Lord Krishna's backside is the adharma is also, the he born, and the dharma he's born in front side. This is that true, or?
These are all, interpretation and expression given by different acharyas, and yeah. But it's all from Krishna. That's all we know. Aham sarvasva prabhava. Krishna says everything is from me. So immediately, with our limited logic, we'll ask. So even bad thing comes from you?
Lord
No,
Krishna? No?
no. What Krishna says, everything comes from me. Okay.
Yes.
So does it mean bad things also come from him?
Mm, but I think so. Like the bad things is like the people is choosing, like the like kind of phone. So phone I want to use for the Zoom meeting for the Gita class, but if I'm using for something else, so definitely this is bad. So is I think so. People who choosing, I think so. This is good or bad. Uh, yeah, I think so. Right?
Correct. No. That's a very good answer. Krishna gives the tools. Like,
Yes.
for
Yes.
example,
Exactly.
fire.
Yes.
Krishna gives fire. What we can do with fire? We can, warm up the house. We can warm up prasadam for Krishna. We can warm it up prasadam for everybody to do boga, everything. But that can be also used as a to destroy somebody's house. They will go and burn, or somebody you can want to burn somebody, injure somebody. You can also do that, right? All this explosion and bombings all happen. You are misusing that. Is it Krishna is misusing? No. Krishna is giving that tool, like a knife. A knife is given. A criminal wants to use the knife to kill people, to injure people. The same knife is used by the doctor to save the patient. Is the knife good or bad? It all depends how you use it. So the entire material manifestation depends on how we use the material conditions. All these things that have been given to us by Krishna, how do we use that? So Bhagavad Gita teaches us that to use it in the best spiritual possible way. That's the thing. Because Duryodhana is not using. He has got the same thing. He has got also a brain. He is intelligent. He can see, he can hear. But he doesn't want to hear Krishna. He doesn't want to even see Krishna. So what can we do? Even though it seemed that the Pandavas did suffer, they had to lose their kingdom. Draupadi was dishonored. They had to go to the forest for 13 years. Duryodhana did not go to forest. But the names of the Pandavas will always be glorified eternally. That's what is the main essence of this. It's not about who was inside the king and how much wealth he had. That nothing matters. Because eventually we are spiritual entities. So we are very pure. So the question is that did we engage in purifying activities? That is what is the success. But your reasoning is correct, Mataji. Good. Sunita Mataji, you want to say something, or Sheetal Mataji, before we conclude?
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for today's Gyana. Yeah, yeah, these examples are like correct. It gives like clear understanding, and today's session gives a very clear understanding about the Kauravas, Pandavas, and how this has been like started, and how it has to resolve with Samadand. The four examples which you have shared, which was the correct way, and the Krishna did with all the rules, like with Samadana Danda Bhed, and yeah, that's how it should be. And otherwise, straight away, if the war was happen, then then it could be a reasoning that why they didn't go and explain this information, like share the information that they can skip the war by a mutual understanding, all those things. So this process, the step by step process, has been gone through before the war started. So that is the correct way where the Krishna was, even if they are not understanding, he went with the step by step process. So I believe we also have to inculcate in this, in our life, about step by step process, not hurrying and like going straight away to the war. First we have to settle down, if possible, at the mutual understanding between the relations and any other things. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very good, Mataji. Sunita Mataji, you want to share something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So from today's session, from my takeaway is like that Dhritarashtra was too much attached to his sons. Due to that, he was not only blind physically but spiritually also. He was blinded, and it leads to the war, Prabhuji, and adharma as well. And like even from our side also, um, too much attachment to anything can lead to uh, can lead to like it's not going to be spiritual enhancement, Prabhuji. It will take away to from our Krishna. Like attachment to Krishna will lead to spiritually advancement, Prabhuji, other than attachment to anything in the material world, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, very true, Mataji. We all love our children. Every parent loves their children. Nothing wrong in that. But Yashoda, Mother Yashoda loved Krishna like anything. She would not consider anything else. My son. So this is a natural feeling for parent. But when it becomes a problem, when it becomes adharma, when it becomes unethical, when it becomes illegal, is when you're too much attached to the extent that you will disregard any fairness to other people. That's the problem. That is what happens in today's society. You want to be successful, that is good. But you also want nobody else should be successful. Only I have to be successful. So that is what is ahankara. That is what is too much attachment. Otherwise, Krishna has given all the natural resources. Everybody can be happy in today's world, devotees. Srila Prabhupada used to say all the time, so much of who is taking care of all the millions of species in the Amazon forest? Nobody is. Krishna is taking care of them. Everybody has got everything to eat. Thousands and thousands of elements are there in the forest. They eat tons of food every day. Who's feeding them? Who's giving them food? Krishna is giving them natural resources. But man exploits that. They want to make more and more wealth like Dhritarashtra. You become spiritually blind. Otherwise, resources are there. Even today, I don't know what is the population, 8 billion, 9 billion. Every entity can be very peacefully lived today. But the sense gratification, the attachment will not allow. Now, sense gratification can be based on individual, a society, a community, a state, a country. More, 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 more. And then you go to war because you're not satisfied. So there is a never ending, right? So that is why we need the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. We know exactly what is the purpose for our life. You know, we have to know our ultimate purpose is understanding Krishna. I see here Sunil Prabhuji. You want to say something, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I just joined what I have heard about freedom. I understand that we have a minute freedom, so we can decide whatever we do with our freedom, whether it's to take up the good things or the bad things, and that's the only thing I want to add. And most, I mean, in most cases, we take up not the good, but the worldly things, and that there's some danger in Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice, Prabhu. Yeah. It's called the free will. The free will, Krishna has given us some free will, not everything. We suddenly cannot fly. Oh, I want to fly. Krishna can do that. We cannot do it. But we have some, freedom, and the highest form of, using our freedom is whether we are going to understand Krishna, realize Krishna, or we just be on the material. That is the highest decision making we got to do at some point of our life. So Bhagavad Gita is an extraordinary opportunity for every mankind, everybody, that they can understand this and they can use this opportunity, this free will. At this moment, we can use it for Krishna, understanding Krishna. So we'll do that, devotees. More verses are going to come. Chapter 1 seem to be little more, lot of different names and how the military formation is happening and so on. Don't get frustrated, because there are so many, it's all reality. And this, if you try to contemplate it with our modern day, right now there are so many wars are happening. This is how it happened. There is a root cause somewhere. What is the root cause? Attachment, greediness, jealous, envious. So this is why the war all happened. So more verses to come. And Krishna is not going to speak in chapter 1 at all. But chapter 1 is identification of the problem. We identify the problem. What is happening? Why so many people are reacting in so many different ways? We will analyze that. Krishna will start giving the solution from chapter 2 until the last chapter. So we'll again see you all devotees tomorrow. Have a wonderful Krishna consciousness evening. And we'll continue with verse number 3 tomorrow. Vanchakalpatrabhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Sunil Prabhuji, you are in our WhatsApp group, Prabhuji. You will get intimation every day.